Welcome to Ghosts of Clown School, Episode 4. Tonight we are talking with Josh Steensland, and our joke to open the show is brought to you by punandjokes.com. I went looking for, yes, Pepito, that's beautiful. I went looking for, this was a list of Josh jokes, and this was number 37. Why did Josh become a comedian? You got an answer, Pepito?
He just needed to hear people laugh at something he said.
The correct answer is because he liked to crack people up. That was the best Josh joke I saw. They had like over 99, and I don't know if I understood any of them. But Josh, thank you for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
The
Excited to be here.
Yes, absolutely. So it's been a while since we've done one of these episodes, and to explain it to anyone who has not seen Ghost of Clown School was a gallery in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it was, yes, right here we have the funeral show when the gallery was put to rest on October 27th of 2023, I suppose. I guess that was last year. And now the gallery is gone, and all that remains is its wandering ghost. And that's what this is. Josh, I had no idea that you had started painting. How long ago did you begin?
It's got to be about 6 or 7 months ago, and then I first picked up a paintbrush, so not very long.
Wow. And Josh, to explain, I know Josh, we went to the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences and studied some audio production about 20 years ago. And we haven't talked much since. I mean, we keep in touch, see each other's Instagrams and things, but we have not really been around each other in 20 years. And I just randomly saw that Josh was now painting, and that's something that I picked up in my time in the last 20 years as well. So I was very intrigued. And wow, 7 months, I gotta say, it's you've blown me out of the water with what you've learned so far.
That's super kind. I've really just I come from kind of an artistic family. My dad was a really, really good artist. He usually worked in white chalk on black paper, and he would do crazy like mandalas and just really intricate, symmetrical, kind of geometrical work.
Yeah.
And was just a natural artist and really, really good at it his whole life. My younger brother, kind of picked it up from him and was just a natural artist his whole life. And so it never really occurred to me to try. I just thought I wasn't going to be as good as those guys. So I just never really picked anything up. I was able to draw like geometric cubes and funny little things for my kids and stuff.
Right.
But I never really took it serious until about 6 months ago. I found myself with a little more time on my hands, and really just got this crazy itch to start painting. And I really can't describe where it came from. It just appeared out of nowhere, really. And I think there was a couple instances at my friend CJ's house. He has this painting. It's big. It's 36 by 48, and it's this painting of a forest fire and all kinds of big game. It's a very Americana, kind of American Gothic style painting, with big game fleeing this forest fire, but the reflections and the glow that this artist is able to recreate with paint just it still blows my mind, and I was able to just sit there and just kind of soak it in. And I think that painting was really kind of the beginning of my like curiosity, like, wow, like somebody was able to create that with just, paint and a paintbrush or a knife, or, it just blows my mind. It still does, the ability that some people have. And so it really sparked me to want to create something myself.
Yeah. Jeez. That's so cool. Do you know how many paintings you've done in these first 7 months?
Shoot. For like the first 30 days, I was like a painting a day. But I was really trying to push myself to get down there and create a habit. And then I found that, after about 30 or 35 days, I hit like a creative block where I was just kind of like, just a little, just like, maybe I need to pump the brakes a little bit. And now it's just trying to find this balance of feeling lazy and not very creative, and just like forcing myself to go down and put something on canvas.
Absolutely. That's how it's.
Once I start, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. That's I also, as I said, came to painting late in life. I grew up and all my friends could paint and things like that. You're talking about your relatives and stuff. And I just thought my whole life that, no, this is for somebody else. Other people are the ones talented at this. So that'll be their thing. I'll find my own thing. And it wasn't until I was, 30 something years old before I finally picked up a paintbrush, and I just became enamored with it. It took over my life. It can be so, it's so addicting to get into.
Well, I have to tell you, and I have to confess that part of my inspiration was after we reconnected, because there was a good decade there or so where we weren't in communication even via social media. It hasn't been, except for the last few years, and so it was, I really enjoy seeing your pieces, and then also the pieces that you share that you find interesting, and it just, the level of kind of, it's so much you, man. I know we only got to spend so much time together at the conservatory, but we worked together pseudo artistically a little bit there, sounds and messing around, and I really cherish those times, and to see your work, and you introduced me to bands like the Locusts, and really obscure stuff that when I can see that. I can see that in your work, and so it's really enjoyable, and I admire your ability to just, put down whatever it is that you're, trying to convey, and really ignoring all the boxes and ignoring all the, standard protocol. It seems to me like you're using multiple media and stuff like collage and painting in some of your work, and I really, really like that. That level of creativity is really inspiring to me.
Oh, well, thank you. I think the type of things that we were doing, we were both doing audio production, and when we had to do our group project, I recorded you and you recorded me, I believe.
Yep.
And I was trying to find the CD of the music we made today, because it is around here somewhere, but I just couldn't find it. But really looking forward to finding that someday. But the thing is, I feel like each of us are doing now with the painting and things like that. It's just a continuation of the same type of creative spirit and energy that we were doing 20 years ago. We just hadn't found the painting part yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. And like I was saying, that's further to my point. It's been really cool, like looking at our artistic stylings and kind of seeing those differences and recognizing those differences just from like the music that we did and shared together. You know,
Yeah.
it's a very appropriate thing to call it a continuation, because it's absolutely what it is. And I think it's an awesome thing.
For sure. I want to bring up some of your paintings. Let me see. I have this button here. Okay. I'm starting off with this one that is it's the gray buildings with the yellow windows.
Oh yeah. That one I ended up framing and giving to a good friend of mine because he loved it.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the first paintings that I did where I just made I sketched the composition, not from any kind of picture reference or anything. It was all in my mind.
Right.
And then it was my first time, and really like my only time, trying my hand with acrylics.
Oh wow.
So, that was one of my really early, probably within the second week of me painting.
Yeah.
That was one of my, probably one of my first dozen paintings or so. Just really like the idea of that higher perspective, and once again, I really love those contrasting colors and the illusion of illumination.
Yeah. You captured it.
I appreciate that. I like the moon. Yeah, that was fun to do.
Absolutely. And next one I wanted to bring up here is this Pepito likes it. This is the one. It's got your hand in the photo here, and it's the street with the tree. It's in front of a mountain. Can you describe this one, Pepito?
Me? His art? Wow, it looks like I'm somewhere in California going somewhere cool. Yeah, that's a good call. I think that's exactly what that is. That's a photo reference exercise that focuses on doing really small paintings. So like literally like 3 by 5, or and then trying to capture a landscape in that. It was a really good exercise for me to not have to do huge, broad brush strokes, and really just work on kind of the fundamentals of the values and where to place the darks and the lights and the mid-tones to create those illusions. Once again, that's one of my early ones as well. And I would probably, if I was redoing that, I think the back hills look a little flat and 2D to me, so I would probably add some texture back there where I could touch that up or something. But I think I was able to capture the depth of the road and the cars kind of traveling in the line. I really like how they turned out. It was a really fun one to do. There's another exercise I did that was like a canyon scene that was really small like that. That's really one of my favorites. But those are really fun exercises to do with small paintings, because you can cover a lot of ground, like theory-wise, in a small painting, and get a lot of topics worked on, and without having to devote 3 hours to a painting or something.
Right. Soy Teresa in the chat here says, "That's real nice. Love the shadows. Looks like LA." And
yeah, that's exactly where it is. It is in LA. I think it's a Hollywood Hills pictures. So yeah, good call. Thank you so much for the compliment.
It reminds me of to bring it back to the conservatory. I remember when we were learning mixing music there, they talked about taking it to a really low volume and trying to mix there. And I feel like there's some correlation with that and trying to do a small painting. It's
I agree. Yeah, I agree, because you're really just, you've only got so much real estate to work with, and you don't have to commit a ton of paint or a ton of canvas space,
right.
like to work on some of those things. Like I was trying to create depth and whatnot. So it makes it a lot easier for some reason. There's a weird thing that happens there that I can't fully describe, but working on small paintings like that really helps you kind of hone the craft.
For sure. This is a question I love to ask artists. What's the biggest piece you've done? Do you know?
Yeah. What is the measurement? It's one of the pieces I think that we're going to be looking at later, and I believe it's 24 by 36.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the biggest I've done so far. I do plan on doing some quite a bit larger. We've got a shop on our property that we use as kind of like a hangout spot, and we have gatherings there, and there's a lot of real estate on the walls that I want to fill with some big paintings.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little intimidated by that process because
right.
You know, I struggle with kind of brush strokes on the smaller paintings, and so I'm really just like, oh my gosh, like the bigger paintings are just going to be a mess because I can't seem to commit to a brush stroke. I always go back and rework it, and I've got to kind of get over that and commit to just putting what I'm going to put down and leaving it be.
Oof. That's tough to get used to.
Yeah, right.
Excellent. What do we have next? Okay, this one is it's on a blue, it has a blue background. It's the portrait.
Yeah, like Hemingway looking dude.
Yes.
yeah. That was another like work study. That was my first attempt at a portrait, and I my only attempt. Like I never.
I was going to say I didn't see others.
No, I think I'm not the fondest of the way that turned out, but now I've had a chance to really sit with it, and there's a lot of things I really like about it, and especially it being my first attempt. I'm okay with how it turned out, and I really feel like if that was a direction I wanted to go, that I feel like I understand the fundamentals and would just need to put the reps in.
Right, exactly.
I'm really just more called to kind of impressionist landscape stuff, at the moment, and more kind of representational abstract stuff potentially as well. And so while I like that one, I don't know if that's a direction I'm going to continue anytime soon.
Right. Do you ever well, one thing I do with my painting is I hated how I did portraits, and now it's gotten to the point where that's all I want to do because it's a challenge. Do you ever do anything like that?
Sure. And I do believe that that I'll revisit kind of portraiture further down the line. I think right now I feel like everything is so new what I'm attempting to do that I'm just kind of like a dog with shiny object or something. I'm just like, ooh, let me try this, and I'm really like not sticking in one particular lane. I'm kind of getting a taste of all these different ideas and painting styles, just to kind of eventually maybe settle into some kind of continuity with my work, where it all has very similar aesthetic and style. Some of the painters that I really kind of look up to right now, Chris Long is one of them. His Instagram is Long Painter. He does really great impressionist like landscape work. I mean, he uses a palette knife for most of his work.
Oh yeah.
But it's just he's you can just tell, like a really good painter, you can tell their style by their brush strokes and the color theory and all that. And so I think I want to work towards that. I'm working towards kind of that, and I just need to get more reps in and just need to paint my ass off basically, and just kind of see where everything settles. And right now I'm really feeling the impressionist landscape stuff.
Oh yeah.
And the illuminated kind of nighttime or moonlit landscape stuff quite a bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm going to our next one. Okay, this one is wow. This one's it's like where the water is meeting the land and you have the sky and the tree. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. This one's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's kind of starting to capture that aesthetic that I really like. It's kind of pseudo impressionist. But yeah, I like this one a lot. The ones that I like the most, I tend to give away to my friends and stuff. So this one I gave away to a friend on his birthday. A friend gave it to him. But I really love this one. I would love to have it hanging in my home. I just enjoy painting it. It really sums up kind of what I enjoy the most out of painting right now. Is stuff like that.
That reflection is incredible.
What's that? A real spot? Is that I took there's a picture reference that I found online that I painted from. It's really good. I like the positioning.
It's beautiful.
I'm reading an Ian Roberts book right now on composition, and so I can maybe not have to rely on photo references as much, and really just kind of build my own compositions. And once again, just after time, I'm feeling a little more confident in that. But this particular one, I love the desaturated colors. That really like. When you have that heavy color saturation, it really makes it kind of unreal and cartoonish in a way. So
I love it. This next one is a night scene, and there are boats. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, that one was a fun one. It's unfinished. But yeah, I really enjoyed painting that one. I like doing the lit up nighttime kind of scenes.
Yeah, I really love it. The water and the lights, yes. But you're still working on this one. It looks beautiful. I had to put this one in the rotation.
It is one of my favorites. We enjoy kind of checking it out. I feel like a lot of my paintings are in an unfinished state, but I'm happy with where they're at, so maybe that means they're finished.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who defines what's finished and what's not?
Yeah, ultimately the artist. Yeah.
Exactly. You get to decide. Ooh, okay. This next one is a night street scene. We have the cars. I really like this one. That bright illumination of the yellow light.
Yeah. This one was a fun one. This one was the one that I was describing earlier as my biggest painting to date. So it was kind of intimidating to start, and this was one of the first paintings that it took me, multiple sittings to do. Usually I was doing everything kind of a la prima and doing it all in one time and wet on wet. And this one, it took me multiple sessions to kind of tweak it and kind of get the perspectives right. Still, one or two of the cars is a little wonky for me, but it captured the aesthetic I was ultimately going for. So that's cool.
Yeah. Soy Teresa here in the chat says, really awesome, favorite so far, and then good movement. And I agree, this one is very, very active.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's the bright light at the end. I don't know. It's kind of a weird one to interpret. It could be a sunset, or I don't know. It's a pretty bright light for how dark it is further down the street, but I think it really adds to that contrast and illumination illusion that I really am drawn to.
It's great. Yeah, this might be my favorite too. I love the lights of the cars are really great. And let's see, do I have another one? Oh, no. We're back at the beginning. So those are the ones I had to speak of. And for our backgrounds on this episode, on our regular scene here, I have the practice you did with the apples.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
and I don't know. I wanted to show off some of your journey,
Yeah, absolutely. No. Yeah, I really thought of some. One of those apples in particular really turned out good. It looks wet and got the value kind of spot on, and it really pops off the page or the canvas. Those are fun. Those are big confidence builders moving forward. I was like, oh shoot, if I could take the time and create this apple, it looks like a damn apple.
right?
I could probably do other things too. So
Exactly.
it was a good confidence builder.
Yeah, I'm glad you are sticking with it. This is incredible stuff. I feel like I had that moment where I finally did something where I was impressed by what I made, and I was like, oh, well, now this is going to be my new obsession for the next 20 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
So fun. Well, Josh, thank you very much. This has been great. I am excited to see more of your work. And one of the reasons I was really excited to have you on is I think it's such a fresh perspective to talk to somebody who's beginning their journey through this particular art form. And yeah, it's really great to see. And I love to check out your Instagram and see the new stuff. And I'm excited to see what comes next.
Well, I really appreciate it, man. It's encouraging, and that encouragement helps with motivation. So I definitely, it's encouraging me to get back down here and paint a little more than I have been. And I appreciate the chance to share my perspective.
Yeah. Well, we're going to end things, but I forgot to do this off the top of the show, is to have our riddle of the night. So, Pepito, here's the riddle. What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you take 2 letters off? Or when you add 2 letters? Golly. See, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I always mess up these riddles. Nah, the answer is the word short. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay. Yeah, I messed up that. We're off air now. But yeah, Josh, it was great to talk to you.
Yeah, I agree, man. Thank you for having me on, and it was really nice catching up. And Pepito, it was nice to meet you and talk to you as well.
I think he hung up his phone, but he says it was great to meet you as well. Hey, I'll send you the link when we have it up and everything. Thanks for doing this.
No, absolutely, man. It was my pleasure, and I'll do my car step promo under with my small following I got, and drive people to check it out.
Perfect. Have a good one.
Cool, brother. You too. Thanks.
Thank you, Pepito.
Hey, I accidentally hung up.
Yeah, did you hear him say that it was great to meet you?
Oh no, I fucked up. I like hit.
And then I was like, I don't think he can hear you.
That sucks. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask him what tea he was drinking.
Oh yeah, you should have.
Well, right as I did, you were like, Pepito, what's this riddle? I was like, why'd you ask me the riddle and the joke? You should have asked him.
I don't know, man.
You're
I was
cool.
confused.
I don't mind. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, I was like, I'm not
You're full
good
of
at that
hate